Hi everybody, welcome to Sunday School. Today we're going to be talking about following and leading. So let me ask you this. Have you ever played the game Follow the Leader? So in Follow the Leader, there's one leader and everybody else lines up behind the leader. They're the followers and they follow what the leader does. So the leader might run, hop, or skip around the room. They might swing a trunk and walk like an elephant, or they could snap their arms together like an alligator, or they might stop and do some jumping jacks or get down on the ground and do a somersault. Whatever they can think of. So you can play follow the leader inside or outside. If you played it at a park, you might have to follow the leader down a slide. That would be fun, right? So what do you think would be better? Would you rather be a follower or a leader? They're both fun, right? It's a game. But what would you do if the leader you were following went someplace where you knew you were not supposed to go? Would you follow them? Well, if you know it's wrong, you probably shouldn't follow, right? You might stop or even turn around. And follow the leader is a game, but in real life, we also follow the example or the lead of others. And sometimes it's hard to decide who we should follow and who we shouldn't. But we can always follow God. When we follow God, we can know that we're doing what's best for us. So that brings us to today's story. We're going to hear about Jonah, who learns a lesson about following and obeying God and about God's love. A very long time ago lived a man named Jonah. Jonah was a prophet. That means God spoke to Jonah, and Jonah delivered messages from God to the people. One day, God had a special job for Jonah. God wanted Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh and to tell the people there that their evil ways had broken God's heart, and God was going to destroy them. The people of Nineveh were cruel, and Jonah might have been a bit scared, but even more so, he just didn't like them because they were mean and they did bad things. Jonah didn't like this special job, so instead of doing what God asked, Jonah decided to run away. Instead of going to Nineveh, Jonah got on a boat that was going in the opposite direction, away from Nineveh. Once the boat set sail, Jonah went below deck to take a nap. And while he was sleeping, a storm came, and the sky grew really dark, and it started to rain really hard with thunder and lightning, and the wind got super strong, making really, really big waves. The storm shook and blew the boat so much that the sailors thought the boat was going to break and sink. They woke Jonah up. "How can you sleep through this terrible storm? Pray to your God that he may save us." Well, Jonah knew that the storm came because of him, because he hadn't followed God. So Jonah told the sailors to throw him into the water and the storm would stop. But the sailors didn't want to do that. But the waves just got bigger and bigger, and the wind grew stronger until finally they threw Jonah into the water, and the storm stopped. Now Jonah was still in the water. Would he survive? Jonah hadn't followed God's instructions, but that did not mean God didn't love Jonah. God's love hadn't changed. God still loved Jonah very much and had a plan to save him. God sent a big fish to swallow Jonah. And Jonah stayed inside the belly of that fish for 3 days. Can you imagine being inside the belly of a big fish? It must have been dark and wet and slimy and for sure smelly, right? While Jonah was inside the fish, he prayed, "I'm sorry, God, for not listening to you. I'm ready to trust you to know what is best. From now on, I will follow you." When Jonah was done praying, God commanded the big fish to spit him out onto dry land. God asked Jonah again to go to Nineveh, and this time Jonah went. He told the people of Nineveh that their evil ways had broken God's heart and that God was planning to destroy them. And guess what? The people were sorry. They stopped doing bad things and they asked God to forgive them. The Bible says, when God saw what the people did, that they stopped doing evil, he changed his mind and did not do what he had warned. He did not punish them. So let's review this story. What did God ask Jonah to do? He asked him to deliver a message, right, to the people of Nineveh. What did Jonah do? Did he deliver that message? No, he ran away, right, in the opposite direction. Eventually he delivers the message. But first Jonah messed up. He didn't follow God. Did God still love Jonah? Yes, absolutely. God's love for us never changes. So what happened after Jonah delivered God's message to Nineveh? Well, when he finally shared the message, it helped all the people that lived there, right? Because they said they were sorry, they stopped doing bad things, and God forgave them. Now, obeying God is one way of showing God that we love him. Who else do you think God might want us to obey? Maybe your parents? So if your parents ask you to do a special job, like pick up your toys or make the bed, don't run away, but stay and be a good helper. And that will show both God and your parents that you love them. Today I used a boat and a puppet to tell our story. Now, you can make both of these out of paper, and they're folded exactly the same except for one little step at the end. So I'm going to show you how to fold a boat and a puppet. You'll need a piece of paper for each, and they're folded exactly the same. So the first fold you're going to make is you're going to fold it in half the long ways. You just line up your edges and your corners and then make a nice crease. Okay? You're going to open that up and you're going to fold it in half the other way. Again, you just line up your corners and your edges and make a nice sharp crease. Okay, I'm going to turn that so that it opens towards me, and then I'm going to take the top two corners and I'm going to fold them into this center crease. So one at a time, and take one corner, fold it down to make that meet that center crease, make the fold, and then I'm going to do the other corner. Fold it down to the center, make a nice crease. So now I have two triangles right. Okay, there's a little bit of paper left down at the bottom here. I'm just going to fold that up to my triangles and turn it over. I'm going to fold that piece of paper up. So now it looks kind of like a little hat, right? And if you look at the bottom, it opens up. And if you pull, kind of turn it, now it looks kind of like a square. a little bit like a diamond. These two parts are standing up. See those two pieces of paper standing up? Just flip one under the other so it lies flat. Do the same thing on the bottom. Just tuck one under the other. So now it's lying flat. Okay, and it opens the opening. So we're going to take the top point and we're going to fold it down to the bottom point. Top down to the bottom. Nice crease. We're going to turn it over and do the same thing. Fold the top point down to the bottom. Make a nice crease. So now, looks like a triangle, and again, you can see it opens. So pull that open, kind of turn it. We have that little square or diamond again. Now one side pulls open and one doesn't. This side doesn't. This side does. You can pull it and just stretch it as far as it goes. Lay it flat on its side. Press it down. Press it flat. So now you have your boat. Okay. So now, I said they're very similar, so they both are folded exactly the same to this point, to that small square or small triangle. To make the puppet, you just pull it out, and I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the flap that would become your sail for the boat kind of naturally wants to fold down. You just let it fold down, and you tuck it under the flap of paper there. One of those. Okay? So now all you have to do is we want to bring these 2 points together. To do that, it helps if we put our fingers in the middle and then we bring them together. So we have our boat and we have our puppet. And you can use those to tell someone else the story. You might want to decorate them with crayons or colors, however you'd like. Now, you could use those to tell the story. And another way you could enjoy our story is if you take your puppet and you open its mouth as far as it goes, turn it upside down, it makes a phone stand. So you can Google the story on a phone and you can watch it on there. Another way to enjoy our story. Now because I like crafts so much, I'm going to do one more, and this one's quick. And all you need is a balloon, a marker, and a little piece of paper. So on our piece of paper, use your marker, and you're going to want to draw a little Jonah and cut him out. Okay? So just a little piece of paper, draw Jonah, cut him out, and then you're going to have your balloon. I blew this one up a little bit first. I blew it up and let the air out, so it's a little stretched out. You just tuck your fingers in and hold it open. Now you might want a partner to help you do this. Just drop Jonah inside the balloon. Alright? Let him close up. So now Jonah's inside this balloon. You can blow that balloon up. Can you see Jonah in there? Let's see. I see him. He's in there. I don't know if you can see Jonah, but he's right there. You just tie off your balloon. Then you can take your marker and add some eyes and a smile, maybe some fins, and you have, I have one right here with some stuff drawn on it. So this is my whale, and Jonah keeps sliding around. Here, can you see him? There he is. So you have Jonah in the balloon, and you can play some music and play Keep It Up with your balloon, and remember our story of Jonah and the whale. Where did you see God this week? Did you have any highs or any lows? If you have any God sightings or a high or a low, that you'd like to share with us, you can email those to church and we'll share them next week at Sunday school. So while you think about your God sightings, I'll share a quick one of my own. My God sighting this week was all the birds in my backyard. There was lots of birds in my yard and I enjoyed watching them. So that reminded me that I want to put food out for the birds this winter. So I made myself a note to pick up birdseed the next time I go to the store. And my high, well, I reconnected with a friend on Facebook, so that was nice. And a low, well, remember those birds? There was one bird, a woodpecker, and we cut down his favorite tree. It was a dead tree. So now he's looking for a new tree to poke around on, but lately he's been poking on my house. So I don't like that too much. I hope he finds a new tree soon. So remember, if you have any God sightings, highs or lows that you'd like to share with us, you can send them to church and we'll put them in Sunday school next week. So it's time to finish with a prayer. We're going to do a popcorn prayer. So I'll say a part and then you repeat after me, all right? So go ahead, we can fold our hands and bow our heads. Dear God, thank you for always loving us. Guide our feet. Help us to follow you. Like Jonah, help us share the message of your love. Help us to show your love in all the ways we can. Amen. Thank you for joining me in Sunday school today. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and in the days and maybe even the years ahead, I hope you'll think of this story and not only remember to follow God and to be a good example for others to follow, but also I hope that you remember that God's love for us will never change. God will never stop loving us even if we make a mistake. So if you mess up or you're scared, don't run away from God, but run to God. Pray, say you're sorry, and do better. God always loves us, and she wants us to love her too. So that's it for this week. Hope to see you next time. Bye now.